Okay, the addition property of equality. If A, B, and C are real numbers, then A equals B and A plus C equals to B plus C are equivalent equations. So if you have an equation, it's okay to add a number to one side of the equation as long as you add the same number to the other side of the equation. So we're going to use this property to solve some equations. And we're going to use the vertical method. Okay, the first equation that we're going to solve is x minus 5 equals negative 2. So here, your goal when you're solving an equation is you want to get the variable, the x, on one side by itself. And it doesn't matter, it could be either the left side or the right side. So since x is on the left side, we're going to try to get x on the left side by itself. And you know the equal sign is what separates the two sides. So if we want to get x by itself, we have to get rid of minus 5. So to get rid of minus 5, you do the opposite. You add 5. Now if I add 5 to this side, I have to add 5 over here too. So see, now these would cancel out because negative 5 plus 5 is 0. So that's nothing there. Now bring your x down. Bring your equals to down. Negative 2 plus 5 is 3. So the solution there is x equals 3. Now you can check that solution by substituting 3 back in for x in the original equation. So we have 3 minus 5 equals negative 2. And then you just work each side out. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. You have negative 2 on the other side also. So it does check because we got the same thing on both sides. Okay, now don't let it throw you off when it has fractions in there. You still do it the same way. You want to get y by itself. Now y is on the right hand side here, so we need to get rid of the minus 1/3. So to get rid of minus 1/3, you're going to add 1/3. So it's going to cancel out on the right because negative 1/3 plus 1/3 is 0. So you know you have your y left over here, but now we have to add these together. So we have to have a common denominator, which is 24. Right, 8 going to 24 3 times. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 going to 24 8 times. 8 times 1 is 8. Now that we have a common denominator, we can add them together. 21 plus 8 is 29 over 24. So that's your solution to that one. And we can check that. So 7 over 8 equals to 29 over 24 minus 1/3. Bring down your 7/8. Work out the other side. You have to have a common denominator to subtract. Common denominator is 24. So you know the 29 over 24, the 29 is going to stay on the top. The other one, 3 going to 24 8 times. 8 times 1 is 8. Bring the 7/8 down, do your subtraction, and you have 21 over 24. And then simplify 21 over 24. 21 over 24, they're each divisible by 7, so it simplifies to 7 over 8. So it does check. So 29 over 24 is the correct solution. Okay, now sometimes you may have variables on both sides. So we need to get all the variables on one side of this equation. And that's what you do first. If you have variables on both sides, you need to get your variable all on one side. So we need to either get rid of the 3a on the left or the 4a on the right. Now it doesn't matter which way you do it. I'm going to get rid of the 4a because there's something I want to show you here. So since it's a positive 4a, to get rid of it, you have to subtract 4a. So, and if we do it to one side, we have to do it to the other side. Now 3a minus 4a is negative 1a, but remember you don't put that 1 there. Just put negative a, bring down your plus 7, bring down your equals, and bring down your 9. Now we want to get a by itself, so let's get rid of the 7 first. Since it's a plus 7, to get rid of it, we'll subtract 7 on each side. So we get negative a equals 2. Now if you end up with a negative variable like this, what you need to do is change the sign on each side. So that would be a equals to negative 2. Well, let's see, I wrote down into my problem, didn't I? I'm just going to erase that so that I can work the other problem. I'll write the rest of it over here. So what we got there, we got negative a was equal to 2, whatever we subtracted there, so a is negative 2. Okay, now in this problem we have lots of w's in there. What you need to do in this type is simplify each side first. Now you don't do the opposite here. Like I wouldn't add 4w. I'm just going to put the 10w and then minus 4w together to give me 6w. The 3 and the 4 together to give me 7. And then over here on the right hand side I can combine the negative 2w and the 7w, which is 5w. Bring down your plus 3. Okay, now I need to get all of my w's on one side. So subtract 5w on each side. So that's w plus 7 equals 3. And then if you subtract 7 on each side, that will get w all by itself. So you have w equals negative 4. So the answer there is negative 4. And I didn't check these last two, but you could. All you would have to do is substitute those answers into the original problem and make sure you get the same thing on both sides. So that's how you solve an equation using the addition property of equality.